from My Rock Bottom Fitness. Today I want to talk to you about nutrition. I'm going to give you some simple steps and a simple guide to be able to start off on a healthy and more nutritious path with food. So the first thing that's important when you're looking at changing your healthy habits is to understand your body type. So everybody has a different body type, and we need to understand the body type in order to pick the right ratios for your macros. So we're going to talk a little bit about this before I get into the types of food that you should be incorporating in your diet. So there's 3 types of body type. The first one would be an ectomorph. We've got a mesomorph and an endomorph. Okay, so these 3, we need to understand, where do we fit in this? Which body type are we? I'll describe what they look like a little bit. An ectomorph is more they have a build of a runner. So they're slim, some of them are tall, they could be short, but they have a slim look. So their shoulders, their waist ratios are very similar, and they're very lean and slim. That would be an ectomorph. A mesomorph has more of a bodybuilder look, or a man's physique look. So they have a little broader shoulders. They carry a little bit more muscle. The muscles are round and full. They have a tapered waist. So this would be a mesomorph. And then you have an endomorph. The endomorph has the style of a strong man, a power lifter. So their waist is a little bit wider, the shoulders are wider, they're thicker, they're not as lean, they don't have that definition that you get in all the other body types. So this body type is more of an endomorph. Now, once you've figured out which body type you are, and you can Google this online, you'll have information, you can read up on it. There's also some images that you can pull up online. And once you figure this out, then we can talk a little bit about nutrition and what you should be incorporating. And the timing of food also is important. So I've got a bunch of a variety of food that we've set up here so that I can give you an idea of what they are as I go through this. So we'll take the first body type, which is an ectomorph. So the ectomorph, which is more of a runner style body type, they have a very high tolerance for carbohydrates. And carbohydrates come in different forms. You have vegetables, you have starchy carbs here, and you also have fruits. So those are the 3 carbohydrate sources that are generally used out there in our Canadian diet. Now, how much of each you should have, this is what I'm going to go through. So for an ectomorph, since you have a high tolerance for carbohydrates, you can incorporate a little bit more starchy carbs. So anything from beans, some oats or grains, rice, potatoes, yams. Those are starchy carb sources. They have a little bit more sugar content, and by the time your body assimilates this, it doesn't really spike your insulin as much as refined sugars do. So it's an efficient way of getting some good energy for the ectomorph. And since you metabolize the sugars very effectively, you can incorporate this in every other meal that you have throughout the day, based on a 5 or 6 meal a day. You need to have vegetables for pretty much every meal. You definitely want that. It's a good source of vitamins and nutrients in there. And you want, based again on a 5 to 6 meal a day, you want to have a little bit of a variety of vegetables in your diet. And for every 3 servings of vegetables, you can incorporate 1 serving of fruits. That's sort of the general rule for incorporating fruits. Fruits are high in fructose, it's a sugar, and it's mostly metabolized through the liver and stored in the liver as well. So what you want to do once you've got an idea of what your portion size are. It's all based on calorie that you burn throughout the day as well, so you need to figure that one out. There's all kinds of applications out there that can help you figure out how much carbohydrates you should be, how much calories you should be intaking in one day based on your activity level. So once you figure that out, you want to have a variety of vegetables for each meal. For every 3 servings of vegetable, you're allowed 1 serving of fruit, and every other meal you want to incorporate some starchy carbs in there. And don't forget, every meal has to have some proteins. There's some good protein sources. Proteins are the building block of life, and we're made out of protein as much as we're made out of water. There's protein in vegetables, but not enough to sustain healthy living when you're looking at an active lifestyle. So we need to incorporate a little bit more protein in our diet, but you need a serving of protein in your food, okay? And the range of protein per meal, depending if you're a woman or a man, how much lean muscle you're carrying, it varies from anywhere 15 grams per meal up to 35 and 45 grams per meal. And that would be, we're not looking at athletes here, we're talking about general public that are physically active up to 5 to 7 times a week. We're gonna go to the mesomorph. So mesomorph, we need a variety of everything as well. Mesomorph has a moderate tolerance to carbohydrates, so we want to watch how much starchy carbs we incorporate in your diet, okay? And the best time to incorporate your starchy carbs would be either early morning and before and after a workout, okay? So for mesomorph, early morning, during and after a workout. Okay, so let's say you have a meal an hour before your training, that's fine. That's still considered during your workout and after your workout. So you replenish your sources of carbohydrates in your body. You need vegetables, variety of vegetables for every meal. And the vegetable to fruit ratio for a mesomorph, you're looking at 5 servings of vegetables for 1 serving of fruit. Okay, so you can Google what a serving is in our Canadian diet. It'll give you an idea of what that is. But essentially for a mesomorph, you want 5 servings of vegetables for every 1 serving of fruits. And of course, we need to incorporate protein in every meal that we have. Okay, and again, the grams is the same variety between 15 to 45 grams of protein that you want for every meal that you're having or consuming throughout the day. For an endomorph, now an endomorph has very low tolerance to carbohydrates. So you need to really watch your sources of carbohydrates. Your body doesn't assimilate that as easy. What you want to do is maintain those starchy carbs for during and after if needed. Okay, so any physical activity that you do that requires a boost of energy, this is when you're going to use your starchy carbs. Aside from that, you don't need any throughout the day. So your sources of energy are going to come mostly from fats, which are great sources of fats are olive oil. Nuts have good sources of fat as well. And we've got coconut oil as well, that's really good. And there's other forms of fat as well. I would stay away from vegetable oils. It's not assimilated properly through the liver. It's very hard to convert to energy for our body. When I say vegetable oil, I'm talking about corn oil and hydrogenated oil and margarine. Those are not necessarily good sources of fat. So you want to stick with oils, you want to stick with nuts. Those are good sources of fat, as well as coconut oil. And for the vegetables and the fruit ratio, it's 5 servings of vegetables for 1 serving of fruits. And if you're having fruits, best time to get those in would be after a workout. You can have the fruits there, or before a workout. So that would be, as far as the timing goes, this would be optimum for your body type. And of course, we need some protein for every meal. Again, depends on your lean body mass, anywhere from 15, if you're a woman or a man, anywhere from 15 to 45 grams per meal. I think I've left out the fat content for the ectomorph and the mesomorph. So again, every body type needs fat. Okay, the ectomorph, which is more of a runner style, since your energy is going to come mostly from starchy carbs, moderate to low fat diet is good. And when I say moderate to low fat, is you need fat in every meal. Okay, maybe as an example, if a normal serving is 1 tablespoon of olive oil, if you're an ectomorph, why don't you cut that to half? Okay, as an example. And the mesomorph, since you're an in-between starchy carbs to fat, so you can play a little bit more, you can have a little bit more fat. It's all about judging the way that you want your body to look. Obviously, you have that ability as a mesomorph to be able to either use starchy carbs as an energy source or a fat as an energy source. Your body is going to assimilate those, and you will have sustainable energy throughout the day, but you don't want to mix the two together. And I'll go into those details a little later. Essentially, just to recap, we need a variety of each of those macros, which are vegetable carbs. We've got starchy carbs and fruit carbs. We need protein for every meal, and we need some fat for every meal. Okay? Now let's talk about the biggest mistake that we do out there. Okay, the biggest mistake that I see that I want to explain is our body needs energy to be able to function. In food, okay, calorie is not just a form of energy. In food, sugar is a form of energy that our body uses and assimilate to be able to function, and as well as fat. So when you give your body 2 sources of energy, your body can only use one at a time. Okay, so it'd be like asking somebody to do 2 different jobs at 2 different places all at one time. It's impossible. So only one's going to get done while the other waits. If you're introducing, say for example, you're introducing some oatmeal, and you're throwing in a little bit of fruits in there, and you're adding fats into that meal, or you're putting natural peanut butter on a rye bread. Okay, we'll take that as an example. So rye bread is a form of grain, and it's processed, it's high in sugar, high in carbohydrates, starchy carbs. Peanut butter is a fat. It comes from nuts. It's a fat. Although it's got some protein in there, that's fine. I'm more concerned about the fat content in there. So you're mixing the peanut butter with the rye bread. Those are 2 forms of energy, and you're introducing this into your body. Your body will assimilate the rye bread before the peanut butter. Fats take a little longer to be able to break down for energy source. It's a lot easier for your body to break down the rye bread and give you the energy right away. Now, if you don't use all of the energy that comes from that rye bread, then the rest is going to get stored, and obviously your peanut butter is not going to be used, so it's going to go into storage. So the storage is your fat cells. Okay, so you don't want that. So you want to be careful if you're mixing any fat with a starchy carb. You want it to be very minimal, next to none. You want your body's ability to pick the right energy source and you just need to manipulate this and give your body what it needs for what you want to get done or accomplish. So the best time to eat those starchy carbs, as a general rule, before and after a training session, a vigorous, intense training session. Your body's going to love this. You're going to have the performance that you want out of your training, and the rest throughout the day, cut these out, stick to some fats, some vegetables, lots of vegetables, great mix of them, and if you need to, you can get some fruits as well. Now, a lot of people think that they need fruit for minerals and vitamins. Yeah, you do, but you get the same in vegetables, and this is a better source if you want to maintain a lean, a good, comfortable, healthy, and good-looking body. You want to stick to vegetables, are the best sources. And have fun with your fruits, but don't rely on those for nutrients and vitamins. Rely on your vegetables for those. All right? Okay, guys, listen, that's all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I want to encourage you to subscribe down below to my YouTube channel. Like the video, share it with your friends, and give me some feedback if there's any other information that you're looking for, whether it be nutrition, training. Send me a comment and share with me what you're looking for. All right, guys, thank you very much.